for a treat. If you can follow, who we follow? Alex back there. Alex has his hand up. Okay, let's give our first time guest a hand. You guys excited about tonight? It's the Espy tonight. Who has one guest out tonight? Raise your hand. Jones, test passer. Let's give Jones a hand.
I have one guest out tonight. His name's Michael. He was an old friend from back in the day. I used to go to middle school with him, and pretty much I just reached out to him through social media, through Facebook, and I kind of caught up with him. It was like, hey man, I want you to come out and kind of get an idea of what it is I'm doing nowadays. And he was kind of, super hesitant at first. But eventually I set up a KT appointment with him and his dad, and we did that on Sunday. And then I invited him to come out to the op night. He was like, come get a better idea of what we currently talking to you about on Sunday.
So you got the KT first.
Yeah, I was like, come to the op night, it'll be a lot more in depth, and you'll get a lot better idea of what this is.
All right,
One guess?
Uno. Eh? Is that how you say it?
Good evening, everybody.
What's up, John?
Yeah. So, I got this guy out. He's a family friend who's going to come to school next week. I was like, hey, can you come to support me? Sure. Let's take him out.
Yeah, so I brought my husband so he can kind of learn a little bit more about what I'm doing, and then his brother also is tagging along. So hopefully,
Great job. Spouse, that's the most important prospect. Anybody else with two? Anybody with two? Three?
Yo.
Riggedy.
What's up, guys? I'm Reagan.
What up, Reagan?
Riggedy. So one of the guys in there, his name's Daniel, is a guy I coached in wrestling. So he graduated high school now. Now he's of age. So yeah, so he's 18 now. Legal. Awesome. So he's back there. I got him in. I just called him up, said, hey man, what you doing this summer? 18 now, happy being legal, and told him to come on out. He wants to do an internship. So he's back there. And then Hero, who works at the airport, who I recruited about, I think a week and a half ago, I got him out here, and he brought, I told him to bring somebody. I just told him, hey, bring somebody. I texted him, and he said, I'll try. So he did try, and he got somebody out here. So he's back there too.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Last night.
Last night.
Right? I came back last night. I came back last night.
So you came back last night and you had 3 guests out, and you were gone for how many days?
4.
And you have 3 guests out.
Yeah.
That's a player. You came back last night and you had 3 guests out, and you were in Miami with all the black women you were showing me. He was in Miami for 4 days and he has 3 guests out. Right? That's a recruiter for you. Great job right there. All right, we have 3 guests out as well. One of them is Lisa. Lisa is a director of our silent partner, Indra. Lisa goes to church with Indra. She's been here on Saturday, but she hasn't been here on Thursday. And then we also recruited our client that we had at KT with. Her name is Meredith. Meredith is back there as well. She texted me out the blue and said, hey, I'm looking for an opportunity, right? I'm attracted to 4 of those. And then the third one is Beauty. Beauty is not that Beauty, but it's another Beauty. She is a co-worker of our direct Beauty who can't come out on Thursday because she takes care of her mom. Her mom is sick, so she takes care of her mom after work, but she's steady sending people to us. So that's a big deal. So we got 3 out tonight.
Yes.
Yeah!
My name is Peter. We have 4 guests. One of them is a friend of mine back in back in the day. I just hit him up on Facebook in that day.
What did you say to him?
I used it in the record post. You know anybody looking for part-time or full-time opportunity? And say, yeah, I am. So see you. And then the other guy we prospected that one day we went to the mall. Prospected him about 3 weeks ago. Followed up with him a couple times. He was trying to get here, but he couldn't find a ride. So I said, hey, I'll come pick you up. So he's there. And then the other 2, he texted me asking me if he could use me as a reference because I used to manage a restaurant. So I said, sure. And then he's like, hey, you lie to me and say I need something on the reference. Like, okay, you can do me a favor. You can come out and check out what I'm doing now also. So yeah, he brings his girlfriend with us.
Oh, great job.
Yeah, Peter!
Peter and Tia, they are our players of the week. I'm really excited to see what you guys have. I kind of took a sneak peek at you guys' slide. Very impressive, so I'm putting pressure on you. Great job, guys. Very proud of you. Great job. Coming up. 5? Anybody 5? 6 more? More than 4? Anybody going once, going twice? All right, Samir, you coming up? All right. Well, give it up, Samir. Oh, Mama B has one.
I didn't know he was back there. He forgot to ask for me, but my guest came out. I don't even know him guys really. I don't. He filled out the. I had a recruit that had filled out the form. When I first come in for an interview. So I just called the list at the bottom of professionals, and he's out here tonight. He's a manager for Dave & Buster's, and he oversees 45 people. So I thought, come out and see what we do. Just try it. And he came, so he is here. Yeah. He's in there tonight. All right.
y'all?
Yo.
All right. So we have a good training. I'm going to go over the second half of the presentation. I'll probably start it over again, but last week I didn't get through. I'm glad you're here because I'm going to finish up what we talked about last time. The business, how Primerica relates to other businesses, how we fit in with other businesses, the differences between business opportunities. So I'm going to go over that. I have a couple other things I want to talk about, but great job for the people who have guests in the back. Primerica is a business. We help people. We do life insurance. We have a great product. We have great services. We do free financial planning. We do it for middle-income people. It's the best part-time opportunity in the world. I was talking to the girl at my front desk in the apartment building that I live in, and I was just talking to her about how much she makes, and sometimes she has to work nights. And I said, man, imagine if you come into my business and in one transaction you can make what you make right now in a week. I mean, think about that. No matter how, she doesn't even understand what we do, but one of anything is better than putting in 6 days a week and a lot of times working overnight. If you're just not brain dead, you'd be interested in that. You know what I mean? Like, our opportunity is so great, the opportunity to make money, but the real opportunity why people come to Primerica is to run their own business and get paid passively. That's the thing, is that in America and in school and in our families and in our communities, everybody talks about how much money you make, but what we don't talk about enough is how we're making our money. How are you making your money? There's people out there that, they work 60 hours a week, they're only getting paid for 40, their cell phone can ring in the middle of the night, they have to work weekends, they're scared to take a vacation, if the boss calls, they gotta pick up, but maybe they make 300 grand a year. That's one way to make 300 grand a year, where basically your company owns you, right? Your company owns you, but in return, you're highly compensated. You make 300. Now, what's another difference between making 300 grand that way? What's your tax bracket? I sat down with a doctor. He's an ER doctor. He works for a hospital, and his wife is a gastroenterologist, whatever that means. They make a lot of money. They make $800,000 combined. He told me his tax rate was 50%, whatever the highest is, 49. So that's one way to make money, where your company owns you. You have to go to work whenever they tell you, but in exchange, you're a highly compensated employee. But also another downside of that is you pay a lot of money in taxes. Because what happens when you are a W-2 employee, they take the taxes right from the top, right? You get your gross pay, and then they take the taxes out. You get to spend what's left. But what if there was a way to make 800,000, maybe if that's to you inconceivable, 200,000, 300,000, and you could 400,000, 500,000 like Shaquille, and you can work literally part-time, and you have no stress, and you have security because you have hundreds of agents, and anytime one of them does anything, you make money. What about that way of making money? And not only that, not only are you getting massive passive income, but on top of that, our net effective tax rate is lower because we get paid, and the government allows us, the IRS allows us to pay most of our expenses, and we pay taxes on the bottom number. If anyone knows how taxes work, that's why, politicians, a lot of times, it's never going to happen, but they talk about closing the loopholes for business owners. We get more tax advantages. It's a better, see, how did I get into this topic? If you're bringing guests, you understand that you're here to build a sales force under you. People say, I don't want to do sales. Hey, the guy that owns a cleaning company is not owning a cleaning company because he likes cleaning bathrooms. And the person who owns a McDonald's isn't owning a McDonald's because they like to flip burgers. And the guy who owns a landscaping company didn't own a landscaping company because he loves mowing lawns. It doesn't matter whether you like sales or not. It doesn't matter. The point is that you're owning a business where the salespeople may do that, but eventually you don't have to do it anymore. Ownership it changes the game. You're not looked at the same. When you wash windows, you're a window washer. If you own a company where other people wash windows, now it's prestigious. I say it all the time in the orientation. If you're picking up trash, you're just picking up trash. If you hire people to pick up trash, we say, oh, David, yeah, he owns a waste management company. Isn't that funny? It goes from picking up trash to waste management. They even give you a fancier name when you own it. Ownership changes everything. It's a better way to live. It's a better way to make money. There's unlimited growth potential. Right? So the point of Thursday night is it's giving you the opportunity to bring people. Now you can bring people any day of the week, but you can bring them to a high-powered environment, a high-powered presentation with a great speaker where if there's any ounce of motivation in them, we're going to get that out of them, and that's the point. I was looking at, every morning I write down my goals and affirmations, and I think that it's good sometimes to talk about this stuff. I know that tonight we talked about recruiting, and I got some good business stuff to go over, but there's a list of things that I write down every day, and I stole this list from Bill Whittle. Bill Whittle is one of the top guys in the company, but the thing I love about Bill Whittle is that he's the most ridiculous self-improver in the entire company. No one reads more than him. No one talks about self-improvement concepts more than him. So he's a sports guy. He's an ex-coach, right? And on top of that, he reads a lot, and he's just an awesome mentor. And Linda, in his notebook every day, he writes, this is what he writes, and I want to go through this list. Because this is what the kind of team that he aspires to have, right? He says, this is how he starts out. He says, I love my team. This is an affirmation, right? You say what you want. He's not saying he has this. He's saying what he wants, okay? I love my team of highly energetic, confident, competent, happy, youthful, integrity-based, competitive, winning, caring, encouraging, growing, developers, and at the end he says, just like me. Right? I love my team of highly energetic, confident, competent, happy, youthful, competitive, winning, caring, encouraging, growing, developers, just like me. He's affirming that these are the qualities of the people that he wants to attract, but he's also saying, this is what I need to be. It's a reminder, this is what I need to be. Now, I don't think for most people, in this room, that's an appropriate thing to write down every day because, he has a large hierarchy. Even me, I have over 100 licenses. If you're just trying to find your next person or if you're trying to do 3x3, 5x5, it's a good list to have in front of you of qualities that you want to acquire, but I know sometimes when I go over this, people are like, oh, well then I'll start writing it down every day, right? By the way, what is this? Catherine, you know what this is? It's a 90-day planner. Is this 90-day planner just for Primerica full-timers? Is it just for regional leaders? This is for everybody. It's $8. You go to PFS Media, you order it, and they have everything in there that you need to do to focus on a daily basis. Goals and affirmations twice a day. Your daily schedule. What you read that day. What adjustments you need to make. What your daily activity was. How serious are we about our goals if we can't write things down for, a couple times? I mean, if we're too lazy to write down what we want in life, then imagine. How are we going to get what we want if we can't even write it down 2 times? So let's go through this list really quick. So he says, I want people that are highly energetic. Energetic people are attractive. When, me, Josh, and Bregan, we went on this trip, and Bregan was playing an audio from Mark Marchesani, and he said something, and of course, I already know this, but it's great to hear these things from other people as well. He goes, I never say I'm tired. I never say those words. And if you're brand new in here, you're thinking, why? What's the big deal? I'm telling you, there's a genre out there, there's a club out there, there's a group of people out there that call themselves high achievers. And in the world of high achievement, people that talk the same, share ideas, share books, nobody says that. Nobody says it. See, when you come to Primerica, when you come in front of me, my job is to tell you what no one else is going to tell you. I know if you go around your friends, you say, I'm tired, they say, oh, okay, sorry, drink a Red Bull, right? If you say that around me, I'm going to say energy is a choice. And you are affirming something, well, then you're going to be tired then. I've met people, they work all night, they come to a meeting, they're jacked up. They work all night, they get to their next job, they're jacked up. That's a choice. People who lack energy are not attractive. And guess what? We are in the attraction business. We're attracting clients, we're attracting teammates. You ever heard of the law of attraction? Why are these qualities important? Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. What are you? Someone asked me that many years ago. They said, hey, if you had a team of 20 people just like you, what would that team be like? What time would they get to the meeting? How would they be dressed? What would they be talking about? How much production would they do? How coachable were they? I said, oh, okay, I have to be the person before I find it. Energetic. Happy. Every book I read says happy is a choice. You read that book, Traveler's Gift? I just read it a couple weeks ago. It's awesome, man. And the chapter with Anne Frank, they talk about Anne Frank, how this is a young girl. She's in the Holocaust. They couldn't leave this little closet area for years because the Nazis were coming after them. And this guy's interviewing her, and she was like, I don't care what's going on. I choose to be happy. 13 years old. Happiness is a choice. Are you happy? There's people out there, and God forbid if this is you, but their kids have cancer. They have cancer. They're going through a sickness. People have real circumstances that cause them to be unhappy, and they still find something positive. We gotta be happy. Happy is attractive. Whenever, when I communicate with the outside world, and I say that because I'm a very tight-knit group, but when I communicate with the outside world, they say, man, you always say everything's going great. You always say business is great. What am I going to say? Right? Oh, man. You have 45 minutes to listen to all my shitty problems? That's what they, right? It's great. I'm standing, I'm walking, I own my own business, I have another chance, I can find somebody, I can make some money today. If I'm not good enough, I can make a choice to change. Make that choice to be a happy person. Confident. Some of us need to work on that. I was not confident. I'm still in a lot of areas of my life. I'm not confident. I can, in front of the room, I can muster up the energy and all that stuff. But confidence is something I'm always working on. Everyone in here needs to work on confidence in certain areas of their life. Confidence is huge. That's why we self-improve. That's why we read. That's why we spend time with the right people. That's why we have positive self-talk. Because when we become more confident, we become more attractive. There might be something, a new recruit comes to me, asks me a question, takes me on a certain kind of appointment, puts me in a certain situation, gets me on the phone with a certain type of person. I might not feel that confident, but I'm never going to come across like I'm not. Because I understand that winners, leaders, they have to have confidence. People follow confident people. Right? You can even be incompetent, but be very confident. You know, Josh in the room. I'm not saying he's incompetent. You know, when I hired him, I mean, 6 months in, he was going to college, he was coming back and all that. Reagan, same way. These guys didn't know what they were doing. They're like, I'll go, but I'll go. It's a confidence. They have that confidence. So I know what? I just need to teach them what to do and what to say. The confidence is already there. What about youthful? What does that mean? That we only hire young people? No, but it's young at heart. I was telling someone, I was like, I'm so excited about this new recruit, Sheila. She's out of town now, right? But she is just, I know she's going to be a fireball. And right now she has, she chooses, because she likes what she does, she chooses to work a job and a half. So she has one part-time, one full-time. She makes over $150,000 a year. She's some high-level nurse that's in operating rooms or whatever. She's Filipino. I mean, she has so many friends. And I was telling someone, I was like, I'm really excited about her. And then my friend was like, but I thought you liked hiring young people. I said, no. Sheila's 45 years old, but it doesn't matter. She's young at heart. That's what we look for. We're looking for people that are young at heart, right? If I like Linda, when I hang out with you, you're not like a stiff corporate. I don't feel that when I'm around her, right? I don't think I'll ever be that way. You hang around Shaq, we're never actually going to be mature. You know what I mean? Like when you hang around us, that's never gonna happen. We're not one of these stiff type. We're not that type of person. You guys remember Mojan? You know, when I hired him, he was 40-something years old. I mean, just always joking, always laughing, youthful personality. You can laugh. You know, I look around the room when Shaq tells a joke, and I've heard all his jokes, so if I'm still laughing, right? You guys never heard it, you're not laughing. I think almost sometimes people try not to, right? They try not to laugh. They try not to smile. They try to be all serious. It's unattractive. It just is, right? We're looking for people that are youthful. I was reading a book the other day, Power of the Subconscious Mind. I mean, your body's going to listen to your mind. You start telling yourself you're old, right? You're going to get old. You tell yourself you're young, I'm energetic, I'm youthful. Your body's going to follow your mind. What are you telling yourself, right? Competent. Denzel's not here right now. He's visiting in the Philippines, but after every single appointment, this is what I told him. I said, hey, after an appointment, whatever happens in the appointment, go to Google and Google everything the client said and talked about in the product they had and read about it, and then call me and tell me what you learned, because I trained myself. That's what I did. It's amazing when you talk to this guy now how much he knows about military insurance, government insurance, county insurance, all these different things, pension plans, retirement plans. He's working on being competent. And you know what? He's 19 years old. It has nothing to do with age or experience or degrees. He's just a 19-year-old college kid, but he's making the choice to be competent. And guess what? Competence leads to confidence. You're more confident when you know that you know what you're talking about. So Bill Whittle says, I'm looking for people that are competitive. Competitive, man. I mean, we look for that. You talk to Shondell, very quiet, very timid, but she is a D1 full scholarship soccer player. You don't get to that level unless you're competitive, unless you don't want to beat other people, unless you're not willing, you know, you got to be willing to wake up earlier than people, stay later than people. You got to want to be in front of the room. You got to want something, you know, a plaque with your name on it. Oh, I don't care about the awards. I don't care about people clapping for me. Hey, again, what if you had 20 people like that on your team, 20 people just like you that didn't care? Where would you be? The fact that the fact that my team wants to go to Hawaii is what builds my business and keeps it going. I want competitors. I got to be competitive. People that are winning, right? Winning, again, it's a decision. Are you going to do what it takes to win? Now, that's not an overnight decision, you know, so he's saying, I want a team that is winning. I want a team that's full of people that are winning. They're doing what they need to do to qualify. They're doing what they need to do to get to Hawaii. They're doing what they need to do to stand up when it's Top Gun and you can say that you got to sail. This says caring. Right? Hey, I'm a tough leader and I'm going to tell you what I think, but I care about my team. I'll do anything for my team. I listen to my team. I talk to my team. I call my team. I give attention to my team. I'm available for my team. People call me from other teams because I care. I care about people in this office. I care about people in the company. People can come to me for help. Right? Does your team see you as caring? It's not about, for me, it's not just about money. It's not just about, are you a producer? It's not just about how much money are you making me. It's because I care, right? He's saying, I want caring individuals. How about encouraging? You know that encouragers, recruiters, it's a language, it's a style of speaking. You got to tell people I believe in you. You got to tell people I know you can do it. You got to tell people try again. You got to tell people, hey, that's supposed to happen. You got to tell people I went through that. You got to tell people get back up one more time. You got to tell people that winners never quit. That's a style of speech that you have to adopt in your life. And you know what? Encouraging people are very attractive. And again, we're in the attraction business. Challenge yourself, man. Every time you interact with someone, say something encouraging. He says, growing. I mean, this list is amazing. People that are growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Some books, they say, think about it, an escalator, right? A downward escalator. You better be running up that thing or else you're what? Constantly going down. Life is dragging us down. Negativity is dragging us down. Negative people, circumstances, problems, issues, life, right? And you got to be growing. You got to be outgrowing. What do the books say, right? They say that you don't have big problems, you're just a small person. And as we grow as a person, our problems is not an issue. You know that car I drive? Every year, that thing, they said that the tread on there is so thin, they said these tires that you're buying they're already coming with half the tread gone. It's only half the life. After 1 year, they say, hey, you need new tires. We don't just change one or two. It's not like back in the day, I used to change one at a time, right? I didn't want to spend the money. It's all for $3,000 for new tires. They want it every year. You know what that would have done to me back in the day? That type of problem? Getting pulled over, getting a speeding ticket, my insurance going up. It's like, I don't think about these things anymore. But those problems ruin people's days. Those problems distract people. The things that people say to you, the things that happen, bills, all that, it's not that they're really that big of a deal. It's that you just need to grow. You say, oh, well, that's because you make more money. No, I make more money because I grew. And your income grows to how much you grow. It's proportionate. My income is not going to outgrow me. I grew, so my income grew. Looking for growers, man. You got books all back there. Everything you need to know. I heard this one time, it was great. Everything you need to know has already been written. And it's already been recorded. But are you going to go get it? Are you going to go get it and read it? Are you going to go get it and listen to it? Now it's like, I don't even like this, honestly. I have a lot of audiobooks. it's not my preference. I don't think you get as much when you do an audiobook. But now everyone does audiobooks. Like, man, you don't even have to buy you have to buy the audiobook, but you don't even have to sit down and look. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can make the choice to put the right stuff in your mind. What are you feeding your mind? You got somebody, they go to the gym every day, man, they look good on the outside. They're doing cardio, they're lifting, And they say, oh no, I don't eat junk food. I'm not going to eat fast food. I'm not going to eat sugar, because they understand what junk food is going to do to their body. But what about their brain? Your brain needs nutrients. Your brain can't handle a lot of junk food either. Just like what it would do to your body, you can put junk food in your mind. Listen to the wrong types of music, trash music, right? People who have just so many problems and they dump their trash on you. That's your choice to spend time with people like that, right? You got to be around, you have to have relationships where people are pulling you up. You know, your friends that'll text you back right away, call you back right away, that's not a mentor relationship. That's not a, right? It takes the right type of relationships. It takes time to get those people on the phone. They're not always available. You're reaching up. The people around you that are just readily available to talk to, usually there's not much value that they can add to your life, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not putting people down. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm just telling you that for a period of time, you have to be very careful with who you're around and what you're putting into your mind. And again, why am I saying this? Because I'm trying to teach you how to make $20,000 a month, barely working, right? This is stuff Shaq says, $50,000 a month, barely working. So yeah, if you want to make that type of money. If you don't, right, if you just want to make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, you don't have to do any of this. Primerica is that good of an opportunity you can make. And then the last thing here that he talks about, he says, developers, right? I want developers. The stuff that I'm talking about, you can teach it to someone else. You can train someone else. You help others change to become better. You bring, it's not just about you, you're bringing other people through the system. You're adding value to other people. You're helping, not only are you reaching up and trying to grow, but you're bending over and pulling people up, right? That's a developer. What if you had a team of developers? These are great qualities coming from a multi-million dollar earner saying, these are the qualities I want to have in my team, and these are the qualities that he says he wants to have in himself. Who was not here last week when I was going over this? Okay, so a few of you will hear this for the first time. A lot of you already heard this before, but we didn't get to finish it up last week. You guys talk about how iPick is on Saturday? Right. That's why I told you. That's why I told you. Okay, so last week, I've been very, very, very impressed with what Peter and Tia have been doing, is leading from the front, working as a couple, hitting on all cylinders, the recruiting, the building, going out of appointments. And last week, you guys won a box with 6 people, right? And I texted Shay right away because I knew I'd forget because I was going out of town. I said, make sure that they're players of the week. They come up here, they do a presentation, talk about what different things they're doing to build, to grow. where they're going, what their goals are, all that stuff. So I, you know, it was so important to me. I texted her right away, and I was like, make sure you tell these guys, and make sure that they prepare so they come here. So you're doing an awesome job.
First of all, I love the training community. Everything he does, every time he does that training, I love because I'm there, like, yeah, I love mindset. That's the new thing about that. I'm learning to develop my mind. That was all about mindset. And the thing, everything is a choice. That was amazing. So we go. Okay. Sorry.
Gotta be loud.
All right, loud. Lots of energy. It's about the lazy guy. So we're going to talk a little bit about prospecting. There's many ways of prospecting, so we just kind of want to share our view of it, how we does it, and you know, what we think of it. We believe that prospecting leads to contact, and contact leads to guests, and guests will lead to recruit. So we believe that the best way to recruit people is to bring people to our meeting. If you can get Shaq to work for you, and you know, they can see their environment. The right people will attract the environment. That's what we aim for. So prospecting based on hacking the mall, prospecting is the first fundamental in Primerica, something everybody needs to master. What is prospecting? To me, prospecting is like making a new friend. Prospecting is having a short conversation with somebody, whether you have 30 seconds or a minute with somebody, help them get to know them a little bit to find out if that's something you want on the team. Prospecting is getting to know people, and prospecting is growing my business. That's what I'm focusing on right now. So where does it start? Really, Tia and I kind of started making the decisions about turning it on and changing it up about 2 weeks ago because the first thing we heard of something somebody said that every battle is won in your head before it's fought on the field. So before you go into something, you have to believe that you are ready, you're gonna win, you're gonna achieve it, you're gonna get the recruit, you're gonna close the sale so that you come in competent and succeed. And then for me personally, which is a desire to win, I'm just tired of not winning, and I wanted to get back into the winning side of things. So me and her decided we need to do more, we need to reach out to more people, and she's gonna take over the rest. How about that, Tia?
So for me, the decision was to be a player and not a cheerleader. So in other words, I was just tired of our business not growing, and instead of me trying to motivate him or cheer him on, I decided to cheer myself on and motivate myself to go out and do it because the only person I can really control is myself. So I also got to embrace that we get to recruit. It's awesome that we get to recruit because I get to tell someone, I get to find people, get to know people, and get to tell them whether or not I want them to work with me or whether I want to invest my time to them. So and then an audio we listened to is Ian Proctor Mindset. That's a really good audio. One of the things he said on there that really hit me was it's recruiting, not recruiting is really selfish to do because by not recruiting, you're making yourself comfortable and the people around you uncomfortable. So by me not recruiting, I'm making my son's future uncomfortable. So he's gonna one day have to apply for a job, put on his resume, and get recruited to McDonald's or something. So I didn't want that to happen. So I got to recruit, and recruiting is awesome. So the things that I've been doing is warm market prospecting and warm market prospecting. So warm market prospecting is people that are actively staying in contact with me. So my friends or our clients, because we keep in contact with our clients. So this is what I say. So I just text them or give them a call and I say, hey, are you free on Thursday at 7 p.m. for about an hour? I would love to invite you out to my office to check out what I've been so passionate about. I'm positive you'll learn a thing or two and help me win a contest. I would really, really appreciate it. So I say that I'm passionate about it, and I don't just say that just to say it. They see it in me, like every time they see me. Because they would ask me like, "Oh, how's your day?" I'd be passionate about Primerica. So I'd be, "Oh, my day is awesome. I'm about to win a trip to Hawaii. I barely went to the office today. I got to spend all day with my son, and you know, I love what I do." So if I say that I'm passionate, I'm excited, I would appreciate it. If they're my friend, they would not say no to this. And this is a warm market prospect. So that's anyone that I've come in contact with. And I don't have social media, but I have, I have Instagram. So this is what I would say to everyone that's on my Instagram that follows me. I would slide into their DM and I would say, "Hey, how have you been? I know this might be random, but do you know anyone looking for a part-time opportunity or full-time career change? I work at a financial service office right now, and we're expanded, looking for some bright people to work with us." And I put the smiley face also, because that's just my personality. I don't want to seem like I'm, a different person because I work at a financial service company. Because a lot of people think it's boring what we do. So this kind of shows them that it's not boring. And I've had a lot of people hit me up because I sent them this, so they would say, "Yeah, I'm interested," or they would refer me to someone like, "Oh, my boyfriend's interested, my girlfriend's interested," or they'll say, "I'll ask around with my friends." And I would think, okay, they're not gonna ask around, but they actually do ask around. And then they would give me their contact number. And if they don't reply, and they post something on Instagram, I would like their picture, like, "I know you're alive," and usually they respond to me after I like their picture. This is you.
So this is what I kind of do a lot because I reach out to most of my rural market away. I do reach out to the group one. I just start talking about it, so I start Facebook seeing people now. Some of the people that here today, just reaching out to my group one market that I haven't talked to here. So, but the one thing that we always do, we does as a team is we prospect on the go. This is one thing Shay always say. You always got to prospect on the go. You're out there, you're doing something, somewhere you got to prospect. So to kind of talk a little more about what she did, like the things she shared earlier actually got us into this one, which is somebody that came in to her friend's boyfriend came in to join the team. So, and this is somebody that were able to help me get a really good guy. I thought the guy was really great. He's coming back from renovations. So what I did was, this is just my way of prospecting, so just point of view so you guys can see how it is. There's many ways of doing it as you pull it out. Prospecting and go, this is something, it's like making a new friend if you grow in your lukewarm market. So when you make that friends, face-to-face prospect, they can be a lukewarm, but now they have contact. You can contact without like 2 months, 3 months down the road, you can contact them. Actually create something like that before. And when you prospect on the go, you want to talk to everybody, but you don't want to prospect everybody. That makes sense, right? You want to talk to that person a little bit, get to know them a little bit, you decide, hey, you sharp, I want you on my team, you go over the phone number. Otherwise, just end the conversation because you don't want to get the number and just like, I don't want to talk to you. So what I usually say is, we can role play a little bit so you guys see how it is. This is an example of me being at the bank, right? The last person that I prospected, I was at the bank. And you know how when you deposit money or you do something at the bank, this time frame, you just like awkward silent, just standing there, he's doing work. So I decided, and it's a mindset thing. You have to think about it because when I say 90%, like most of the battles in your head, when you walk up there, you got to say, hey, I'm going to talk to this person and get to know this person. Or you're struggling, then you think, I can talk to him, and you just keep fighting with yourself. You just make this talk to him. So these are some of the things I asked them just to get to know him. Like the first thing I do, I say, when he's a bank teller, I was like, if he's doing work, I'd be like, hey, out of curiosity, how long have you been working here?
2 years.
Oh, okay. And
I just applied.
oh, okay. So, do you love it? Do you love to do now?
Well, it's okay. It has ups and downs.
Okay, you working full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Part-time. Okay, you do anything else besides working here?
I go to school.
Oh, okay, what are you studying?
Accounting.
Oh, okay. So, maybe you can help me out. I don't know. I have run a small financial brokerage in the area. We're expanding right now. We're looking at your office, so I was wondering, do you happen to know anybody in the area who's looking for part-time work or full-time financial custody?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, great. So, what are the, let me get the information that you can call later and I'll talk about it. usually how I get it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I believe that prospecting is the one thing that, like Samir always says, is lead to everything else. Prospecting is the fun thing, is the first thing you already got to do. You're constantly prospecting, you're constantly having new people to talk to, having new possibilities. Some of the months where I'm just, I'm not recruiting anybody because I'm not putting enough prospecting. So bottom line is, everybody needs to get a little uncomfortable and just make decisions and talk to people, get to know people. And keep in mind, that person doesn't sound very sharp. I want to go for the phone number because you're going to feel pretty crappy if he shuts you down at the end. You're like, why don't you want it? You just so we be in control, guys. That's a mindset for us.
Part of the reason why Shaq and I started recognizing the star of the week is to give people an opportunity to become trainers. With me being in an office and being, when I was younger, the top producer, I wasn't, the RVP or anything like that. I started training at division on a weekly basis, and that's what helped mold me into the person that I am today, with my speaking ability, with coming up with ideas quickly, thinking on my feet. It gave me confidence, and I think, as you know, in society, that's a highly desirable quality skill that people look for in others, which is your ability to present, your ability to speak. So I told Shaq, I was like, look, I think that he does a great job, I do a great job, Shay does a great job, Sophia does a great job, a lot of the other trainings that come up, but there's other people in the room that have a story. Now, we don't allow anyone. Primerica is a business and it's performance-based. You have to perform to come in front of the room. We're not going to let people come up for nothing. But on a weekly basis, if someone is recruiting, if someone is doing what they need to do, we want to come hear your story, hear what you're doing, and we want you to get some practice in front of the room. And it doesn't have to be someone new every time. It can be whoever, right? And so you guys did a great job. It's not easy to do that. Come up and prepare and go over something for 10 minutes. So if it's you, make sure that you prepare. So instead, I'm not going to finish last week. I'm going to do that next time because I don't want to get cut off again. And that was my fault for not incorporating things properly at the time. But I have something else that I want to talk about. All right, so let's go to compensation. I'll probably go for 10 minutes. All right, so in the interview, what we're going over when you talk to somebody and you're doing an interview with someone, before you get to money, you talk about, obviously you want to talk about your personal story, you talk about credibility of the company, you want to talk about the financial state of America. People are struggling, they have debt, they don't have a plan, they don't have planners, no one knows what they're doing with their money, and statistically, they're struggling because of it, because of the lack of education. Then what we do is we go through a few financial concepts. Hey, do you know how compound interest works? Reagan was on an appointment, who was on the appointment? Kevin was on an appointment and called Reagan, and Reagan gave me the phone, and the client, he was what, 30 years old?
No, 25.
Okay, 25-year-old guy, college grad, all that stuff, and he said, how is it that $200 a month can turn into $1.3 million? I don't get it. What do you mean compound interest? And I had to tell him that, if you get 12% the first year, then it's 12 on top of 12 on top of 12. And he goes, but I just did it on my calculator. You put in $200 a month for 35 years is $87,000 or $84,000, whatever it is. 84 can grow to 1.3. People don't know these concepts. They don't know how dramatic it is. We talked about Rule of 72. We talked about saving money on life insurance and all that. But this is where things in the interview take a twist. Prior to this, if you're not explaining this properly, you are presenting basically an opportunity to make some money part-time in sales. That's all it is. You're promoting a sales position where you educate people about money, you find clients, but if you can properly explain the compensation slide and how it relates to real estate, which most people understand, that's where you're gonna, I always tell people, like, that's where Primerica takes a twist. It's this slide right here. So I tell them, if you're a district leader, which means you're at a 50% contract, so what does that mean, Johanna? It means that the amount of revenue that you bring in, we give you 50% of it. Right? So let's say that you had a debt client, they also did some insurance, they did some investments with you. Your total compensation is $1,500. By the way, some of you are thinking, well, I didn't make $1,500 on my last client. Hey, again, it's a choice who you're choosing to prospect, who you're choosing to sit down with. How is it that she's always finding people that have rollovers, that have investments, that get big insurance checks? That's your choice, right? Everything is attraction. It's your choice. Just like he said, I can talk to someone, I'm not always going to get their number. You got that the person's number he didn't want to get, you got that number, right? And now you're dealing with the fact that they can't set even one appointment, even with their own freaking parents, right? People blame it on Primerica. That's your choice. I don't see her working with people like that. Everything's a choice. So whatever you feel when you look at this, I'm looking at this like this is an average client. I'm not looking at this like, oh, do people have, yes, they freaking have that much money. We sit with middle Americans. If you had 50 grand to invest, it does not make you rich. That is very middle class. The corporate people that live in this area, I sit with people at 25, 26, they already have 100 grand in their 401ks. Okay, so, because I know, why am I doing this with you guys? It's not just about what we're telling, you gotta freaking believe it. Because what I'm saying to them, that's a conscious conversation, but there's also a subconscious conversation. There's a conscious conversation, there's a subconscious. You're saying, yeah, you can make $1,500 a client, and subconsciously you're saying, I don't even make that. There's a reason we have this up here. It's not meant to exaggerate. By the way, the more interviews you do and the more you affirm this, the more you are going to start to believe it. It's also for you. These clients, there's thousands and thousands in just a few mile vicinity, people that have money like this. What is this? A $400,000 term? Someone bought a $100 app? We're selling term insurance. Whole life agents are selling $500 a month to kids, to 25-year-olds. You think it's a lot to sell someone a $100 a month policy? So, back to this. Let's say that you're a district leader, you sit down with an average client, they do a debt product, they do some insurance with us, they invest some money with us, $1,500 that you make for sitting with a client. Do you know, Linda, on average a client only takes about 3 hours for us to service? We meet with them once for about an hour, hour and a half. We spend a little bit of time entering their information into the computer system. Then we come back, we present the proposal to them. I mean, in 3 hours, $1,500 is $500 an hour. What if it took you 5 hours? 5 hours, $1,500, that's $300 an hour. Right now, Shondell, do you make $300 an hour? $300 an hour. And that's why we say that this is the best part-time opportunity in the world. Because time for money, no one's going to pay you that amount of money for the amount of time that you're spending. And financial services is that lucrative. Now, we have a broker position here. This is someone who runs their own office. They sit down with the client. Let's call them a regional vice president. They are on a 100% contract, so they get 100% of the revenue that they bring in. Same exact client, but the regional vice president will make $3,000. If it's the same 3 hours, that's $1,000 an hour. Awesome. Who would you rather be? John? Regional vice president. So he wants to be the regional vice president, obviously. Because it's the same work, same everything, but you make twice the money. But here's the thing. Here's the best part about being a regional vice president. Let's say, John, right, that you knew someone that wanted to make an extra $1,500 a month. Do you know someone? You know people that want to make $1,500 a month part-time? Name one. George. Okay? So let's say that you're a vice president, you're a broker, you hire someone named George, and you train George to be a district leader. George goes out and helps a client. George makes $1,500. And let me ask you this, is George happy? He's very happy because he just made $300, $400, $500 an hour. Maybe you sent George on that appointment because you wanted to watch the game. So you're watching the game, George goes out there, he makes $500 an hour, George is happy. But you don't just get nothing because you're a regional vice president and George is in your business. When George made $1,500, you made the difference, which is also $1,500. But let me ask you, whose $1,500 is better? Yours. Why? Because you didn't have to work for it, right? You didn't have to work for it. So let me ask you this, John, if you had George do this, and every time George did this, you made that, how many Georges would you want on your team? As many as possible. As many as possible. You guys with me? So we're dropping the seeds for recruiting. We're dropping the seeds of hiring and training people. We're dropping the seed of making money off others. Which, by the way, is not a bad thing. I say to my orientation, if you think it's bad to make money off others, you have a middle income mindset. Bottom line. How is a company making money if they're not making money off their people? Right? It's a very common thing. Sometimes we struggle with it. Right? What if you had 10 Georges on your team that did this once a month? You're making $14,000 a month. Let's go next. Our business is very similar to real estate. Do you know anyone that sells real estate, John? Who? Alex. So you know a realtor named Alex. Well, as you know, real estate, you have to get a what? License. Is a license free? How much do you think your friend Alex paid for that real estate license? $500, $1,000, I've heard $1,200 for the whole program, right? So your friend Alex, before he made any money, went out there and spent $1,200 on a license, and now he's licensed to do real estate, but still has to find someone to work under. So Alex goes to Herndon Realty and talks to the broker. The broker, you could call him the owner, the president, whatever. This person owns the office and says, hey, Mr. Broker, I would like to be an agent and I would like to sell houses for you. The broker says, of course. Why does the broker want your friend Alex? He's going to make money off him. But the broker has to train him, develop him, show him the ropes. Maybe he's going to shadow his broker for a little while. And so Alex, your friend, is learning. Now, finally, Alex is ready to go out and sell his first home by himself. He goes, finds a client, he helps a client. We'll use small numbers. You know, I know in Northern Virginia, the homes are worth a lot more. We'll use small numbers just to keep it easy with the math. Alex sells a $100,000 home. Do you know in real estate, the selling brokerage gets 3% of the sale of the home? 3% of 100,000, Alex generated 3,000. But Alex is a new realtor. So Alex, of the 3,000, he's on a 50% contract, so Alex gets 1,500. Let me ask you, John, who got the other 1,500? The broker. So wait, Alex found the client, drove around the client for 6 months, did everything, sent the thank you basket. The broker never even met the client, but got the same amount of money. Let me ask you, John, why is that fair? Because he trained him? Because he developed him? But at the end of the day, John, does it have to be fair? No, because that's capitalism. That's how business works. And here's the cool thing. If Alex goes out there, if your friend Alex goes out there and makes 40 grand a year, you know what's cool about that? The broker is going to make 40,000. So the broker wants Alex to make a lot of money. Now, let me ask you something else. If Alex didn't do this, right, and the broker did everything on his own, how much would the broker have gotten out of the 3,000? The full 3,000, right? Then I scroll back to hours, and I say, look familiar? It's just a brokerage model. Then I come back down, right? So hey, if Alex makes 40 grand a year, the broker makes 40 grand a year. But here's the cool thing. The broker doesn't just have Alex making 40 grand a year. The broker has 3 people making 40 grand a year. Now he or she is making 120. Whose 120 is better? The agents or the brokers? The brokers. Because where's the broker? Wherever. Wherever. Let me ask you, John. How does your friend Alex make more money next month? Let's say Alex wants to make more money next month. What does Alex have to do more of? He has to sell more houses. He has to say, man, I used to take weekends off, but I'm going to start working Saturdays and Sundays, and I'll extend my day to maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I'll start picking up my phone earlier in the morning. In order for an agent to make more, they have to sell more. But how does a broker make more money? Right now, the broker has 3 people. He wants to start making more money. What does he start doing? Hiring more agents. They make money in different ways. Right? Brokers, we find people. People, they go out and find the sales. But who makes more money? The people who find the sales or the people who find the people? So I teach people how to be people finders. People finders make way more money. Here's another power statement that I say. I say most people, right, if you want a higher quality of life, you want what? More time, more money. Most people that have money don't have time. Everybody wants to be a lawyer, doctor, dentist, they're always working. So a lot of people that have money, they don't have time. And then the people that have a lot of time, they don't have any money. How can you have both simultaneously? There's only 2 ways. You can have money working for you, or you can have people working for you. And this is a side note to you guys. There is no other way. You want to have time and money? It's one of those 2 ways you choose. So I explained to the person, what does it mean to have money working for you? Well, if you have $1 million in an account, right? Or if you have millions of dollars in real estate, your money starts to pay you. If the market, if your $1 million is invested, the market goes up by 10%, your $1 million paid you 100 grand. How sick is that? You know how hard people work for 100 grand? Some people are just making that off their money. But in order to get money working for you, you need what? A lot of money. Who has $1 million? Not a lot of people. So if we can't get the money, we got to do the other way, which is to find the people. There's no third way. If you want to attract recruiters, if you're wondering why people on your team are not excited to bring people, why they're not introducing you to people, why they think recruiting is weird, you just need to go over this part of the interview with them again, and you need to let them hear it over and over again. Most people are programmed to be employees. They're used to getting recruited, but they're not used to being recruiters. And one presentation, one speech, one interaction is not going to convert them. People have to see this over and over again. Primerica is a broker development program. We're developing brokers, but you have to introduce the concept to people by using, I mean, this is years and years and years of refinement, putting it all into 2 slides and explaining and making it seem completely normal. It is normal, but you have to go over the top to help people understand why it's normal. Who has questions about this?
You mentioned much about the concept of indoor interviews. You go over like big face train. Is he in use that concept of
you didn't hear me say I don't talk about it. I'm not saying that stuff isn't good. That's just what I say. You don't have to copy exactly what I say. I think I hit the power statements just in why we recruit, why you should recruit, finding people, how many people do you want, why is it better to get paid this way versus that way because they didn't do anything, paying for a license. You know, I mean, that's someone making money off of you. It hits every single point when you put that package together. Are there a few things you could add in there, spice it up a little bit? Sure, absolutely. What else? Yeah, there's a couple of them. I just want to go over this. Linda, you get it? Yeah, I mean, see, you can recruit salespeople and then you can recruit recruiters. Imagine that, right? You have Peter and Tia, who as a couple go out there and they prospect, they're constantly looking for other talented people. This is a talent accumulation business. All businesses are actually talent accumulation. So you want to hire scouts, you want to hire talent funders. But if all you talk about is part-time, you can make this or that, and you end your presentation there, everything else is boring to me. It's like common sense. Who doesn't want to do finance and just for the sake of making more money, helping others? People are undereducated. We do something very different. But this is where I always get very energetic in the interview because, in my opinion, that's why you should join Primerica. Not necessarily just for the other stuff. Any other questions? I mean, this is exactly what we had before, but Sophia was nice enough to, I'll scroll through it. She did this for me, because mine was like bare bones, and she cleaned it up. So let's start at the top, and you can see what it is. Right, so she added this, and then she had a nice backdrop, right? She has the Primerica wheel, right? Credibility, mission statement, a few of the statistics, how money works, okay? Compound interest, rule 72, you know, problem versus financial plan, compensation. Very bare bones. I like my interviews fast. I understand some people are using the new presentation for their interviews. Cool, man, do whatever. Do whatever. I'm just using, for the interview, Shaq didn't call that play 100% that we had to switch to the new presentation for interviews. Some people do, some people don't, but this is what I do for mine. It's very quick, it's very to the point. Interviews shouldn't be that long, right? It's the real test, Tara, is do people come back a second time? That's with any job. That's with any job. I used to know this dentist, and he said that a high percentage of dental assistants that he hires after their first day, because they're learning how to like squirt the water and use the sucky thing at the same time, you know? And he's like, they get, water's going everywhere. A lot of them never even come back the second day. And he said, most don't last the first month, so we always start them at lower pay, and then we tell them, hey, after 30 days you get a raise, because most people won't make it that long. I mean, I'm not going to spend 2 hours interviewing someone when there's a high probability they're not going to see me for a second time. Why? Because there's something wrong with Primerica? No, same thing with the gym. Same thing with church, right? Same thing with most things that require commitment. Most people don't show up. So I go through things.